Hey everyone, Gill Gross here. Post-match, Jannik Sinner versus Ben Shelton, Paris Masters 2025 quarterfinal. If you're not here for spoilers, click off the video. Sinner maintains dominance over Ben Shelton to take a 7-1 head-to-head lead, but the sets won streak for Ben is now 17 in a row. Sorry, for Jannik is 17 in a row. This is part of a quarterfinal post-match analysis marathon. So after you're done with this one, make sure to check out analysis of the other Paris quarterfinals today. I was concerned about this match coming in, the quality-wise. I knew that Jannik Sinner was sick. Paul Annacone said on the Tennis Channel broadcast that he had heard that something, and I don't know what, and Paul didn't say what, something was going on with Ben from a physical standpoint or a health standpoint, whatever it may be. So I was like, all right, what are we going to get here? I was a little concerned. And we got a full match. We got a clean Jannik Sinner win, a good Sinner level, but definitely a flat, sort of undramatic match, and one that I'm sure Ben will not be feeling great about. It again was a sick Sinner, and that was certainly clear. In the previous match that Jannik played, it was evident that the physicality wasn't 100%, and there was some vulnerability there. And in this match, again, he looked like a wreck in between points for the first 4 games. But during the points, he was playing clean tennis. He was hitting the ball well. He had enough in his legs to position himself to play good tennis off the ground, to lower his center of gravity enough to, play effective tennis. But he was clearly feeling it for a while. Then he settled in with probably a combination of adrenaline and belief. And Shelton, he was flat energy-wise. And I don't know if it was because he sort of saw what was happening on the other side of the net and let it bring him down, which is, as much as we like to say, you can't do it, it's a cardinal sin. We see it happen so often. Of course, you do want to try to avoid it. But for whatever reason, especially in the first set, it wasn't the signature Shelton energy and intensity. And, one of the things that I think has made Ben so fun to watch and also effective in big matches is that he really does go at these top players with a level of vigor and boldness that kind of derives from intensity. Didn't really get that here. But obviously there are also massive technical issues for Shelton when he plays Sinner, particularly in baseline rallies where it just does feel like there is nowhere for Ben Shelton to go. And baseline rallies in this one were won by Sinner to the tune of 26 versus 15. An incredibly lopsided advantage for Jannik when both players were exchanging from back. And part of it, I think the biggest annoyance for Shelton is that Sinner's backhand gives absolutely nothing. And I'm not just talking about errors. Because yes, Sinner's backhand was marvelously consistent in this match. He made no unforced errors. He only made 2 total errors. But the other resource that it does not offer up Ben is time. And that is just as crucial. And it's the reason why Ben Shelton, after playing Sinner and losing badly to Sinner at Wimbledon, said that he feels like he's playing on fast forward. It's because when he hits that looping forehand at the righty backhand, he's used to getting some breathing room on the next ball, and Sinner just does not provide him with that oxygen, and it kind of just shuts down Shelton's ability to use his forehand as a weapon. Not to mention, Jannik changes direction effectively down the line and makes Shelton move right and hit backhands whenever he can. So you have the down the line threat, of course, but I think more significantly, Sinner averaged 75 miles per hour on the backhand, and for a lot of the match, it was 76. It ended up at 75. That is where a lot of forehands end up being, right? So Shelton just does not have that wing to go to where he knows he's going to be afforded a little bit extra time on the ball because Sinner is basically wielding 2 forehands. And then in the other cross court, Sinner's forehand into Shelton's backhand. You know, Jannik loves attacking Ben's backhand. I think he feels pretty safe going into it. And ultimately, I think what a lot of the best players are able to do is maneuver Shelton into positions where he's having to hit defensive slices, because Shelton is not quite as good at just maintaining his ability to drive the ball when he's pushed to his right. He doesn't have the best backhand slice. It's only okay. But I think what ends up happening a lot with Sinner is he creates enough speed to rush or enough width to stretch out, where Shelton ends up going to the slice, floating it middle, and then Sinner's in the middle of the court, able to distribute the ball either direction with a big forehand. And that's really the position that Jannik Sinner plays from, probably better than anybody else, unless you're bringing Carlos Alcaraz into the mix. Shelton 5 out of 17 on second serve points. Some of that is just he's got to play a rally on a second serve point. Also, double fault issues. The number at the end of the match is not going to look horrendous. It ends up being 5. But they flurried early, and I thought that was important because early on in the match, first 4 games, that's when Sinner was most vulnerable physically. That's when Ben really probably needed to take it to him and get on him, and he couldn't. And then the timeliness of the double faults. 2 came on break point. In the second set, we hadn't seen Ben really double fault in a while, but then I think it came once again on a 30-40 break point, which stings a little bit. I know that, this is going to be a shorter analysis here, but I leave this match feeling once again as if the overall movement and ball striking of Ben Shelton, when he measures up with Jannik Sinner, who is the standard in that category, when he measures up against Jannik Sinner, he doesn't get close enough, not nearly close enough. Now, this is in some ways an obvious statement, because a lot of players don't get very close. But if Ben wants to make that next step, he's right there. He's going to be in Turin for the first time. It's been that kind of breakthrough year. He occupies that tier 2. What's it going to take for him to get into that tier 1? He does not need to be as good a baseline as Jannik Sinner. Just doesn't. But man, he's got to get a little closer than he is right now. If you're looking at lateral movement, defense, return, side to side movement, ball striking on the forehand and the backhand. And I want to quickly talk about his forehand. That's his weapon. But if you look at when his serve gets broken, look at that second set game where he goes down love 30, missing 2 attacking forehands in a row. Look at 2-all in the first set when you have multiple forehand unforced errors. That's his better wing, and it still is sometimes the reason why he is putting himself in holes. That will still betray him, spray on him. So you either need like a dynamite, reliable forehand weapon, or you've got to be a little more balanced. But I feel as if Shelton right now, from a ball striking standpoint, he's got a super high ceiling forehand that can get erratic, and then a backhand that offers up comfort to opponents like Jannik Sinner from the baseline. It's a safe space to go to when he's defending. It's a place where you can attack and come in. Like it creates opportunities, the Shelton backhand, for his opponents. So again, being a really harsh critic right now, because that's where Ben Shelton is at, trying to close the gap to Sinner. Like as a baseliner, it needs to get closer, because yes, Shelton has a far better serve, one of the best serves in the game. He's not going to be able to win matches, and he served more effectively than Sinner in this match. He's not going to be able to use that advantage to actually get to the promised land unless he closes the gap from the back of the court. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.